Welcome to another episode of Moving the Chains. Today is Monday, October the 8th. We have a lot in store for you guys today. We're going to go over it is Mayhem Monday. It is Mayhem Monday. We're talking about the McGregor Fight. We got some NFL breakdown, local sports, and we asked you guys to DM us, and you did. We're going to go over it, and then to top things off, we're going to go over the Super Bowl predictions that we have for you guys. All right.
Little early prediction, but yeah.
Early predictions, but you know what? Here we go. Welcome back to Moving the Chains.
Welcome back, everybody.
It's Monday. It's Monday, my dudes.
It's Monday, my dudes.
And honestly, I've had a good Monday. It's not, usually Mondays are really shitty. Crappy. We're trying not to curse as much.
Trying
really hard. But Mondays are usually not good for me. Today's been a good Monday so far.
I can't complain. My first class of the day was canceled. It's kind of tough to sit through class today, though. Both classes I had, almost fell asleep.
That's okay, but you know who's probably having a little bit worse Monday than we are?
Probably Conor McGregor.
I'm going to say Conor McGregor.
Wow.
You were thinking the same thing I was.
He got his butt. See, look. See,
he got his arse kicked.
Arsed?
He got his arse kicked.
He got beat up bad.
It's like I've never seen McGregor just look like he was in his eyes. He was fearful of Habib. That's how you say it. It's not Khabib. Not even kebab.
Habib.
He hates it when you call him kebab. I read this.
Oh.
He likes to be called Habib. But the fight, that was fun. It was interesting. They hit each other.
It was very unexpected.
There was only one.
For someone who's not a fan of the UFC, obviously you root for Conor McGregor.
Of course.
Either you love or hate Conor McGregor.
I didn't even know.
I love Conor McGregor.
I didn't even know who Habib is. Nurmagomedov. That's not even close to how you say his last name. And I was like, Conor McGregor is going to go into this freaking guns flaring and kicking his arse in.
And it didn't happen.
That did not happen.
Not only did he get his ass knocked out, but he lost by submission.
The only submission even thrown.
Yeah.
And
I think just to throw a little cherry on top.
In a round.
I just knocked your ass out. Arse. But I'm just going to choke you out now.
In a 5-round match, Habib took him to 4 and got him into submission 3 minutes and 3 seconds in.
Yeah.
And just leading up to this, Conor McGregor was just, I'm going to kick his freaking arse. And all this shit talk. And then he just gets shut up.
And then not only does he get shut up,
he gets his ass kicked by another dude, not even Habib.
After the fight?
The fight after the fight. It was fantastic.
That was the main event right there.
That's like having sex twice.
Yeah.
You finish once and then you go right back into it. It's like, oh my God, I'm getting more for what I actually didn't even think I was going to get.
But I wish that second fight after the fight lasted longer, like that second round.
Well, if you do it once, you get it out of the way. And then
right.
If you do it again a second time, you're probably quicker to finish.
Are you?
It depends.
It depends.
It depends on the... We're talking about fights?
Yeah.
We're talking about fights still. I actually wrote like an academic paper little thing about the fight after the fight. Like, McGregor was like extremely racist to Habib.
Yes.
And Habib...
He's crossed the line several times.
Habib jumped out of that cage like a monkey jumping out of the zoo attacking a child. R.I.P. Harambe.
Gone but never forgotten.
Never forgotten. But he just went ape shit crazy. No pun intended there.
Do you blame him?
I don't, because I can imagine the type of anger and frustration.
Built up aggression.
Built up inside of him, and he just snapped. And now they're talking about stripping him of his title.
And do I blame him for the action?
No.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Okay, that's a good answer.
And the reason why I don't is because, McGregor crossed the line several times. Talked about him, talked about his religion, talked about his country.
His father, his wife.
All of that. But at the same time, you also got to think there's other people out there that it was McGregor and his people talking about you. I understand. But at the same time, you're fighting McGregor, and he is the main problem with all this, and you just beat Conor McGregor's ass. Don't worry about anything else. You're going to get your round 2. You could have held it in.
Oh, Conor still wants to fight him.
Oh, I know he does.
Khabib's still undefeated. Conor has 4 losses now.
Yeah.
Is he even a good fighter?
Oh, he's still a good fighter, absolutely.
Are you sure? Because he just got his ass kicked.
He did. But you also got to think, Khabib had all that built-up aggression. He's probably like, yeah, it's wraps.
I don't know if it's just me or if it was the camera angle that I saw Conor at. He looked tiny. He looked really tiny for a fighter. And going up against Khabib, who looked like the Hulk. And then you got Conor looking like a 5th grader going out taking his shirt off for the first time.
Yeah.
I
agree with you. He didn't really look as big compared to Khabib.
No, his head looked unproportionate to his body.
Yeah.
I mean, it does normally, but it was just a little bit extra this time that it didn't look healthy. He might be on a strict diet of probably not eating. He probably eats more fists than food.
Oh, he definitely had a lot of fists on Saturday.
He had a lot of fists on Saturday.
Yeah.
And I just don't know if Conor is heading down the right direction. That's just my take.
We'll see this next fight. I really think the fight after Mayweather, lost.
That's an L.
Khabib,
lost. That's another L.
If he goes back to back-to-back L's,
I think he's done. I mean,
think
he's already
too.
he's already gonna make millions of dollars selling his 12 proper whiskey. That's another advertisement for you, Conor. You're welcome.
Yeah.
And
he needed it after the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
It cost him like $38 million to fight. That's expensive.
Yeah.
That's like you legit pay to get your ass kicked. You go out to the back. You're at school. You're in 5th grade still, and you go out to the back schoolyard and you say, "Hey Jack, I want you to kick my ass. Here's $5."
Yeah, go ahead and beat my ass. Here's $5. Here's $38 million to whoop my ass.
Yeah, I don't get it. But then he's gonna make way much more money because he's already advertising that he wants to fight him again.
Yeah, that's all it is. The WWE, UFC is starting to become the WWE, and like the antics, how they always call each other out and all that. Obviously, it's not staged or anything like that. I mean, you can't stage what they do in the ring.
No.
But at the same time, the antics and stuff like that, yeah.
I see what you're saying. You know what? We're going to move on. We're going to talk about the NFL because what a weekend we had.
Yes. A little sad weekend for me, actually.
Why is that sad?
Because Brandon Cooks and Cooper Kupp both in concussion protocol.
Yeah.
Concussion protocol.
But you know what? They're still undefeated. They still
They
got
are.
that dub.
Yep.
But more importantly,
is it?
Yes, this is more important than your blessed Rams getting a win. The Browns, the Cleveland Browns have another W.
Baker's first home start, he leads them to a game-winning field goal drive in overtime.
I wouldn't even call that a field goal. I feel like he just nubbed it. And you watched it. You watched the final field goal.
How many points did they get for it?
3.
That's a field goal to me. It
But
went in.
It was a horrible field goal, and then you got the Browns coach out there holding up 2 fingers like, we're going for 2 now. I don't think he realized that the game was over as soon as you make that overtime field goal. He held up 2, maybe signifying that there's 2 seconds left because there was 2 seconds left on the clock.
That's probably what it was.
Did he not realize the game's still over? But then there's other fans out there that are thinking that he held up that 2, signifying his 2 wins, because all coaches go around after a win hanging up the numbers that they have.
It's the first time the Browns have had 2 wins. And I don't know how long. It's weird.
Did you know the Browns are undefeated in their Color Rush uniforms?
Keep them on.
Don't wash them. I want the dog pound, baby. I want them to wear that every single Sunday now.
You can wash those jerseys.
I wouldn't. I don't even think Baker wants to wash those jerseys.
I would want to.
I'm just so excited for them. But then you also take into consideration, are the Browns good? What?
They're a lot better than what they were. And they're so young. Like a couple of these games that they played close in and they just couldn't pull it out. It's because they're a young team. They can be in the game, but with a young team, it's hard for them to finish and capitalize on situations like that.
Finishing can be tough sometimes.
It can be very tough.
Still talking about football?
I think so.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. But yeah, they just need to learn how to finish a game, which I mean they're going to obviously with them being young. So
I mean, we live in a world right now where the Cleveland Browns have a better record than the entire NFC East.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
They have a better record than the Colts. They have a better record than the Raiders, the Broncos. They have a better record than the Cowboys, than the Eagles, than the Giants, than the Vikings. No, they're tied with they're even with the Vikings, but better than the Lions, better than the Falcons, better than the Bucks. Fitzmagic fizzled out. Do we even know where he went? Where's Fitzmagic?
It's gone.
Gone forever.
Gone
Aaron
forever.
Hernandez. Better than the 49ers and better than the god-awful Cardinals. Like, if you would tell me at the beginning of the season that the Browns would be in this situation where they're actually winning.
And it's not that they're just winning. They're being competitive in every game
They
they
are
play.
being very good. It was their third time in overtime, which means they are fighting. They are not.
And that's what
giving
you
up.
want. Yeah, that's exactly what you want.
It's fantastic. It was 1,029 days. Fact check me. Since the Browns won a home game.
And they got it done.
36 games since 2015. And they did it.
Good for them.
Good for them.
Great for them.
But since the Browns beat the second best team in the AFC North, the Baltimore Ravens. So does this mean that the Ravens are just bad? Because I'd like to say the Ravens are bad. I like saying the Ravens are bad.
The Ravens lost to the Browns, and they have lost to the Bengals, which the Bengals are a good team this year.
The Bengals are a fantastic team. The fiery red Andy Dalton's not doing too bad.
Not terrible. And yesterday a little iffy, but that's all right.
But he still came out on top.
Yep.
He still fired some ball. He threw some pretty balls out there.
But see, the Ravens have beat teams they crushed the Bills week 1.
Yes, it wasn't even close.
No,
I
and
felt
then
bad.
they beat the Steelers.
They beat the Steelers.
So, are they overrated? I really don't. I don't hear anybody talking like, "Oh, the Ravens are good. Like they're the real deal."
I've always heard that the Ravens are overrated. Even when they went to the Super Bowl, when they went in, they were just so dominant that year.
Yeah.
That they still thought the 49ers and Colin Kaepernick could win.
I mean, you're just trying to make stories at that point in time.
Oh, yeah. It was ridiculous. I couldn't believe my ears or my eyes. And I just don't see them being good. They're not good. They're overrated. They are a mediocre team. That's my take.
I would say they're like a middle of the pack team. I wouldn't say they're over or underrated. I feel like, I don't know. I just don't hear anybody going, "Oh, the Ravens are cold this
Would you
year."
say that they're the one team that's always overlooked?
Yeah, I mean, with the area that we live in, there's a lot of Steelers fans, obviously, just because the Steelers are, a huge organization in sports in general.
Mm-hmm.
And then you mainly have Bengals fans just because, we're around the Ohio area. So, I don't know. I feel like
Who day?
I just really feel like the Ravens aren't talked about as much.
That's true. I don't feel like they are. But in more exciting news, well, is it exciting because it's really actually disappointing? The field goals.
Oh, it's so sad. It's so sad. But I like it.
Why? Why do you like missed field goals? It changes the game.
But it makes it more interesting.
Mason Crosby.
I feel so bad for him.
4 missed field goals.
But going in before this, he was the second best fantasy kicker in the NFL.
Now he's looked upon as probably worse than that dude that missed the game winner for the Browns.
Yeah.
Do we even know his name?
No.
You want to know why?
Because he got cut immediately after.
It wasn't fair. I feel like he could have gotten a second chance, but he didn't.
But Mason Crosby's pretty solidified as a great NFL kicker.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
And and every dog has his day. And so they're not going to cut him or anything. They shouldn't cut him or anything like that.
But they should keep shopping.
They'll keep their eyes open. I don't think they're going to shop. We'll see. It's probably just a fluke.
But speaking of field goals,
Graham Gano.
Graham Cracker Gano
Smacking it from
with
63.
An absolute piss rocket.
It could have went longer than 63.
It's good from 70.
Yeah, he didn't squeak that through. It was
it was
good.
clearly over, and he's probably the second best player on the Panthers right now. His dick's huge, obviously. No person with a tiny dick kicks a 63-yard field goal.
You're absolutely right.
Tying the NFL record.
For the win.
For the win. Watching that live, I was like, there's no way. No way this guy makes it. He's going to hook it. He's going to pull it. He's overthinking it. And then he just absolutely whips it out, unzips the pants, and just dick slaps it. And this thing took off. It wasn't coming back down.
And you thought he was going to miss it, right?
I thought he was missing it right. I was
because that's been the norm this year.
It has been the norm.
And that's why it makes it more interesting.
He wasn't even set up in the middle of the field. He was on the left hash. So he had to push it right. And I thought it was going to hook so much that it was going to hit a poor fan. And they were going to take home the field goal that he missed. But no, it stayed in line. I was like, this thing has a chance. Does it have the leg? And it did.
Had the leg and some.
I was blown away. It was honestly very impressive.
I liked it.
Great for the brand, as Pat McAfee would say.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But now, after, was it week 4? No, week 6.
Week 5.
Going into week 6.
Going into week 6.
There's now only 2 undefeated teams in the NFL.
Do you know who those teams are?
Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs.
And
Jared Goff and the Rams.
It's so good to be a Rams fan again.
Tell me how you feel. How did it feel, but almost losing to the Seahawks, but squeaking it by?
I was talking about this before the Rams played. When the Rams, I mean, it's inevitable. They will lose a game. They'll probably lose a couple games.
They look good, though.
They look great. And it's hard to go undefeated in the NFL, obviously. But even when the Rams were like god-awful terrible and the Seahawks were like going deep in the playoffs and Super Bowl, I remember one season the Rams tied the Seahawks and they beat them. And it was when the Rams were just dog crap and the Seahawks were good. That division always is competitive with one another. I don't know how. I don't know why. But anytime the Rams play a division opponent, so anytime they play the Cardinals or 49ers or Seahawks, I'm a little on edge, no matter how good or bad each team is. And it's been like that for, I don't know, like 6 years, 7 years.
Yeah. And the Rams are doing good. They did squeak it by.
Lost two big players. Brandon Cooks and Cooper Kupp.
R.I.P. Those CTE, man. Is it ever going to get away from us?
No.
It's always going to be that little side bitch, that crazy side bitch that sticks with you, that always creeps up on you. You know what I mean?
Hey, how you doing?
Remember that when you got hit in the head and it hurt? Yeah. Here's some feelings that you should start thinking about. And then we get what happened to Aaron Hernandez.
R.I.P.
Another reference.
We just need to start counting how many Aaron Hernandez references.
I think that's 6 in the past 2 episodes.
It's something like that.
I had a fan walk up to me the other day and he goes, "Man, you need to chill with those Aaron Hernandez references." I was like, "Why? What's he gonna do to me? Nothing.
Haunt you.
He's dead."
Isn't that cool? A fan?
I like saying that.
That's pretty cool.
We have
But back to the Chiefs and Rams.
Mahomes, dude.
The Chiefs look nice.
They look really nice. I mean,
yes.
They went up against the best defense in the NFL
and still played extremely well.
Mahomes ran all over them.
Yeah.
It was insane. I mean, I think the Chiefs are the better team in the NFL, better than the Rams.
Yeah.
I think when they faced the Rams, was it 2 weeks now in Mexico?
Something like that. Yeah.
I think they faced them in Mexico. That it'll be a war, and I think the Chiefs are going to come out on top on this one.
Really?
That's my bold prediction right now.
But is it bold?
It's very bold because the Rams are they'll have their 2 best players back.
Yeah, hopefully.
They'll have them back by then. I feel like they will. And when they go up, I mean, granted, the Chiefs' defense, not the greatest, but their offense.
It's amazing.
It's a firecracker.
Yeah.
It's like lighting a firecracker and throwing it down a drain and watching it. Pop, 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 pop.
I may be a little biased, but I'm obviously going to go with the Rams. But on top of that, I mean, Jared Goff's playing great football. Todd Gurley playing fantastic. I mean, Cooper Kupp has emerged this season. He is a great weapon on offense.
I didn't even know who he was.
Yeah.
Is this his second year in the season?
Second, yep. He was a rookie last year. Had a good rookie season. Got so much better over the offseason, playing great football now. And then when that defense starts clicking, that defense is going to be good.
I mean, I looked at him during my fantasy draft. I was like, who the hell is this? Cooper Kupp.
Did you pick him up?
Nope.
You should have.
I had no Rams players on my mind to pick up. And honestly, I regret it immediately because my fantasy team, god-awful.
Mine's good, and I picked up all of them.
I'm struggling. I don't have a win streak. I win one, lose one, win one, lose one. And I just lost.
That's tough.
It is tough. It's just tough being... I'm not good at drafting, apparently.
It's because you think too much.
I think way too much.
Let's go to this NCAA. Let's talk about our predictions.
3-0. I am undefeated in predictions. I called it.
I am...
But I was scared watching the Ohio State-Indiana game. I did talk a lot of shit about it, about how much Ohio State is just going to absolutely destroy Indiana going at Indiana. But Indiana didn't do too bad.
No, Indiana's kind of like, one of these teams I'm going to talk about later. They always competed with the good teams.
They always did, and even last year, I'll give them some. They had me more worried last year going into this year that they could beat Ohio State. But Dwayne Haskins just went off 466 yards and 6 touchdowns. Are you kidding me?
Pretty good.
In his first start this season, he has produced elite numbers.
Oh, yeah.
It's unbelievable what this man is doing. I'll give 455 yards, my bad, on 33 attempts. I mean, the running back pair of J.K. Dobbins and Mike Weber run all over them. It's not fair. They're the best duo in the NCAA. I am 100% with that.
Is that biased?
Not biased at all. Not biased whatsoever.
I'd agree.
And then Paris Campbell. Did you see that catch in the end zone that he had?
No.
He was falling in the back and just pulled it in and tiptoed his way. He is
Love those.
He's going to be an absolute unit in the NFL. All of them are. All of them are going to go to the NFL.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they play for Ohio State.
They play for Ohio State, which obviously produces great athletes.
They produce good talent.
Great talent. And what else? Who else did I pick? I had
Clemson, Wake Forest. You had Clemson.
Clemson, Wake Forest. Apparently, concussions don't exist anymore because Trevor Lawrence was absolutely fine, completing 20 of 25 passes for 175 yards and 2 touchdowns. He looked fine to me. Wake Forest, sorry.
As expected.
We gave you the benefit of the doubt in the last episode. We thought you could at least pull it off.
Did we?
You chose him for the underdog.
Yeah, but I love the underdog.
You love
we'll get to that in a minute.
But when you lose by 60, boy.
They must have just been mad. Clemson must have heard our podcast.
Clemson must have heard us. They probably did. We're pretty big. And they were like, these sons of bitches think that Wake Forest is going to come into Did they play at home? Yeah, they did. They're going to come into our stadium and whoop our arse.
I think not.
And so they just have absolutely just destroy them. They scored 21 points in the second and third quarter. That's going into half firing, coming out just firing even more.
Yeah.
Poor Wake Forest.
Then lastly, you had Notre Dame, Virginia Tech.
Good game for the first half.
Yeah. That's it.
That was it. And then as soon as Notre Dame came out the second half, they were like...
they stepped it up.
They must have prayed an extra amount in there because when they came out of the second half scoring 28 points in the second half.
That's nice.
And only holding the Virginia Tech to 7.
But at least you're a 3-0.
Notre Dame is undefeated. 3-0 in their division.
Yeah.
And now, is Virginia Tech even ranked anymore?
They are not ranked anymore.
They're not ranked. They got knocked out of the top 25 with that loss. But you know who's working their way in, and it has to do something with your predictions. Texas and Oklahoma.
Yes. Texas won. I had Oklahoma. and it was sad.
Texas is back.
Texas is back.
Texas and Tiger are back. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Our camera went out again.
And Lil Wayne. We're trying to get you this video
We're trying. We'll have segments for you.
one day. But no, man. No, Texas won. You know, they were the underdog. I didn't pick them.
Huge underdog.
Yeah, they were.
I don't think anybody knew that they could pull this off. They probably thought of Texas as that 2013 Colt McCoy team in the championship, just absolutely blowing it.
Yeah. A little sad, but you know what? It's just part of it. All right, this next game, LSU. That was a loss. You know what? I said I'd root for LSU. I want LSU to win.
We thought the legacies of Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry would continue along with the Honey Badger, but it must have faded when they left as well because only putting up 19 points against a 22 ranked Florida.
It was tough.
I mean, Joe Burrow didn't even complete a touchdown. He had 2 interceptions and 191 yards. And he's listed here as a top performer. So how bad did Florida have to play to not even make this top performers list?
Yeah.
That's just bad football. Good for Florida though. Great for them. They're 6-1 now. 5-1.
Which is good.
They're going to move up in the charts.
Yeah, which they should.
And LSU they're going to drop. I think they dropped out of the top 10.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they did too.
Let's fact check.
Because we just looked it up.
Did they drop out of the top 10? I can't see this.
I think they're in the teens somewhere. Yeah, go to rankings. There we go.
Go to rankings. Yep, they're not in the top 10. They are just outside the top 10.
13.
But you know who is in the top 10?
USF.
UCF.
USC, yeah.
You dyslexic fuck.
I am, hey.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to say fuck. Oh, I didn't mean to say it again.
Brats. Oh well.
But for a team, they have... UCF hasn't lost in... I don't even think they know how to lose anymore.
National champs, baby.
They deserve a bid.
They want Bama.
I want them to face Bama. But if I was Arkansas, I would not want to go up against Bama again because...
No, they get smacked.
TT, do you love me? Tugaluva absolutely went off. He completed 10 passes, which doesn't seem like a lot.
No.
But 4 of those passes that he completed were touchdowns. And he threw for 334 yards.
That's hysterical.
Almost half of his receptions were to one receiver who had 135 yards and 2 touchdowns.
That's also hysterical.
Their running back had 15 carries for 111 yards and 2 tutties.
Easy money.
Bama, looking pretty good.
You wanna hit this third prediction that I had?
Let's hear it.
I mentioned on a Friday that I always love watching Northwestern play.
Oh, boy.
But I can't remember if I said I'm going for the underdog or if I picked Michigan State.
I know for a fact that I picked Michigan State.
But I know Michigan State lost and Northwestern won.
I am so blown away by that.
I'm not. I told you, Northwestern always steals one.
But from a ranked opponent in the Big Ten, Michigan State, who's always a really touchy-feely school.
Yeah.
Can I say that?
You can.
Can I say that they're touchy with all the things that's going on? They're touch and go.
Touch and go's a little better.
Touch and go is a little less sensitive to people. So I guess
Right.
we'll go with the touch. They had a touch and go offense and defense. But their offense just wasn't even touched. It's like they weren't even there. They put up 6 points in the first half and then 13 in the third quarter, and then they couldn't finish it in the fourth. Northwest is consistent across the board, scoring 7, 7, 8, and 7 for a total of 29. They beat Michigan State by 10 points. It wasn't a close game. It was a good game.
But it wasn't close.
And Northwest fans should be excited. They should be excited about this win because
they always get one.
It boosts their morale for their program.
Oh yeah.
You're going to get more recruits. You're beating people in your conference, which is very important.
They're second in the Big Ten West.
I'm about to say they are second in the Big Ten West behind.
Who's behind?
I thought you would know.
No.
Well,
you're the Big Ten guy.
I am the Big Ten guy, and they are second in the Big Ten West. I want to say that they are behind.
We're gonna look it up. We're looking
Wisconsin. Overrated. That was fantastic.
That's pretty cool. We should do that more often.
Yeah. I don't even want to get into talking about Wisconsin because they're the most overrated team in the Big Ten.
Yeah, that's another segment.
That's another segment for another time. But we're gonna move on, and we're gonna talk about local sports.
What about you? What'd you do this weekend?
What'd I do this weekend?
Yeah, what'd you do?
Oh, nothing but a thing. We went up against Earlham, maybe put the ass down on them, beat them 83-17. Nothing big.
But what did you?
What did I do?
What did you do?
I got my first 2 tutties of my collegiate career. We high-fived.
We did high five.
It was honestly, it's a great feeling. I'd rather score more touchdowns and get drunk. Nope, dude. There's no other feeling like it when you, I'm not the biggest guy.
Yeah, true. Okay.
But finding my way through that hole up the center, and then just scoring. I didn't even know what to do with the ball. I wanted to keep it. I wanted to keep the ball, but I knew I wasn't in the NFL, so I couldn't do that.
That's sad.
And then part of me just wanted to donate it to a fan. But that's another 30 yards of extra running because we don't have that luxury of having a stand right in the end zone. So I couldn't just do the Cam Newton and hand it to a kid.
You could just threw it, just chucked it up.
So I threw it, and I was like, "There's a ref over there. I hope he catches." I threw this bitch fast and high. He didn't catch it. I felt so bad.
Nah, fuck it.
And I didn't even know how to I didn't even know how to properly celebrate either. I think I was more in shock that I scored because I had guys jumping all over me and I had this blank stare on my face, like I legit had seen a ghost because I wasn't used to this feeling.
Did you do the Ricky Bobby just in the end zone? Slap hands.
No, they were jumping on top of me and I was like, oh my! I just scored a touchdown. And then I had some of my teammates run towards me. I was like, let's do that thing where we jump in the air and hit each other in the helmet. So we did that.
And then you did it again.
And then the second one, I just ran a little shoot route. I ran into the D end, and he fucking tossed my ass. He legit picked me up and threw me to the side like I was garbage and throwing it into a garbage can.
Damn.
And then apparently he was like, fuck him, I don't need him anymore, so I'm going to go tackle the quarterback. Elusive Alex Fabert got out of the pocket, found me open, and I jogged into the end zone.
That's nice. That's really nice.
It was so nice. I felt bad. I felt bad for Earlham.
Yeah.
They are a rough program. They had 36 guys on their team.
Which is sad.
You can't get much with 36 guys.
No.
But they have such good hearts. And we just we took their virginity without consent, which is known as rape.
A little touchy subject, Michigan State. But our coaches knew that. Our coaches knew that we were going to destroy them. It got to the point where our Coach Theo was like, gentlemen, we do not need to score anymore. We are not scoring this drive. We even had our offensive coordinator calling plays that didn't exist. He would call the line to go block one way and have the run go the opposite way just so that they wouldn't feel so bad and score. We wouldn't score again. But I don't even think Earlham knew how to properly respond to it because when they would get the ball back with 3 minutes to go, they were still passing. Yeah.
And then we just get the ball back 30 seconds later.
I mean, you got to think they're trying to score too.
But you're down 66 points. What's the point?
To be down by 60? A little better.
You see, at that point, I'm just like, you know what? It's not worth it. I'd rather save it.
Yeah.
But I
see what you mean.
But just the overall feeling of the game, it was just so...
Homecoming?
On homecoming. Smack that ass. It was just such a good... The tailgate atmosphere. We had hundreds of fans there. Hundreds. Probably thousands. Not hundreds of thousands. Maybe 1,100.
Maybe 11 or 1,200.
11 or 1,200, and it was electric. We had a student section for a little bit, too.
Wish I could remember.
There was 4 of them.
What I remember, though, it was a good time.
It was a great time. Great time for local sports. Great time for Hanover. And we're going to carry that into next weekend with another guaranteed dub.
Oh, whoa.
Yep. Against Defiance.
Oh, you're hearing it here first. It's exclusive.
That is exclusive. You know what? We're going to get into this next segment where we asked you guys, the fans, the Chain Gang, what's the craziest, weirdest thing that you've ever found yourself in on a weekend? What situations have you gotten yourself into? So this comes from Jack McKinley. a.k.a. Jackie Ice, my boy from kindergarten, best friend. So he says,
Shout outs to you.
shout outs to him. First one to DM us. Obviously going to get this spot right here. He's probably going to be a caller on this show one day.
He may be the first. We may have him be the first caller.
He will be the first caller. He's going to be down here in a couple weeks, so he might even be on the show, like live. It all just
That's
depends.
even better.
It all just depends, but this is what he said. I woke up in the front of a lawn 3 streets over from the Kentucky. Wait, 3 streets over after the Kentucky beat Florida in football for the first time in 31 years.
Go Cats.
Go Cats, Cats by 90. I had one shoe, no socks, and a ripped shirt. Had my wallet and phone still on me.
That's all that matters.
Along
That is all that matters.
along with my keys. Someone put a blanket.
Even better.
Someone put a blanket on me, at least, and I woke up cuddling a 5th of Mad Dog 2020. Fuck it, Cats by 90.
That's gross.
What the fuck? How does this even happen? Like, I understand the atmosphere, but when I'm drunk, I at least find myself back in my room.
I get in the room somewhere.
I am safe always. I have great friends with me. But it sounds like Jack did too, because someone put a blanket over him.
And he had his 3 most important belongings with keys, wallet, and phone.
I bet you his friends made sure he had those things before they put the blanket on him, just so somebody wouldn't come up and mug him while he was asleep. Granted, Jack's big dude. I don't think anybody would, but still.
But he's asleep.
He's asleep and vulnerable. But that blanket just makes everything better.
So warmth of protection.
Warmth and protection. So Tanner, tell me about the craziest thing you've ever done on a weekend.
There's been a lot of nights I don't remember. We could talk about this weekend, I guess. Showed up to work, pretty drunk. Drank a little bit during work, maintain it. Get to the tailgate, don't remember much. Get back to the room with all the football guys, talking about them and their game.
Uh-huh.
Drink a little bit with them. And then after that, it's just blacked out blur. I wake up the next day in my bed, and I was good. And as I like to say, if I blacked out, it didn't happen.
And that, as long as you were safe, that's all that matters.
I think I was.
You know what we got next?
We got Super Bowl predictions.
And we just received a DM from our own brother, Ian Garris.
What did he say?
He said that he's calling it now. Super Bowl 53, Pats over the Saints.
Whoa.
Not even taking the undefeated Rams and Chiefs right now. Granted, he is a biased Pats fan, but this is just my opinion, hot take. Pats are not going to the Super Bowl. They will not even be in the AFC Championship. They'll lose to
A wild card team.
Ooh. That's your take.
That's my take. They lose first round.
I say they're in the championship, but they lose to the Chiefs.
I think they lose first round.
To who? Who do you think could beat them?
And it could be the Dolphins.
You think but the Dolphins did not play that. What if it's the Bengals?
It could be the Bengals. We'll see. I mean, like I said, it's week 5 going into week 6. It's really early to be discussing this.
True.
I mean, who's going to line up? You never know what happens. Sadly, injuries happen. Like, for example, before the segment, I'll just tell you mine now. I got Rams Chiefs. I don't think there's 2 teams that look better than the Rams and the Chiefs.
I like that. I like those.
Unfortunately, there's two people out right now, Cooper Kupp and Brandon Cooks. They're in concussion protocol.
R.I.P.
I mean, I know it's really not a big deal for them two to be out right now, but like that's just kind of proving my point. Injuries happen. Aqib Talib, he's out.
Yep.
Who knows when he's going to be back? I mean, I just don't know off the top of my head. But I have the Rams winning. I'm a Rams fan, so I'm a little biased though. I got them winning 38-31. It'll be a shootout.
I have a very, very hot take for you.
I'm ready.
You won't even see this coming.
I'm prepared.
So in the Super Bowl that I have, in the AFC, I have the Chiefs. I do agree that Chiefs are just probably the best team in the AFC. Nobody can compete.
I don't
with
like
them.
where this is going.
And now the NFC.
Dun, 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 dun.
A team that hasn't been to the Super Bowl since 2006. A land up north in Chicago. They call it the Windy City. I think the Chicago Bears are going back. Mitchell Trubisky, Khalil, Mac and Cheese Mac,
Really?
Julius Green Peppers.
It's throwing me off. This threw me off.
You didn't see this coming.
I didn't.
Their defense is so good. Their offense is electric. You have Mitchell Trubisky almost breaking the NFL record for passing touchdowns, throwing 6. 6.
I like it, but I don't.
You don't have to like it, because it's my take.
I know. And I respect opinions.
It'll be a good game, and you heard it here, and you heard it first on Moving the Chains.
Moving the chains?
That's all that we have for this episode. A little preview for next episode, though. A little segment we like to call Way Back Wednesday.
Whoa.
What are we going to do on Way Back Wednesday?
We're going to talk about the glory days.
Oh, we're going to relive the glory days. We're always told here at college, turn the page, the past is the past.
Close the yearbook.
No, we're going to open that shit up. We are talking about our high school days, the sports that we used to play.
You know what we're going to talk about?
The girls we used to be with.
You know what we're going to talk about?
What else are we going to talk about?
I think we should do this for football, and we can do it for basketball too.
Okay.
We're gonna not the best, but our top 5 favorite football, basketball, or we'll just do athletes. Top 5 favorite athletes from your childhood.
Ooh, top 5 favorite athletes from your childhood. I love that.
And go ahead and catch us on the DM.
Slide in the DMs.
Let us know who's your top 5 favorite athletes.
Hit us up on the
from you
Twits.
growing up.
We'd love to hear from you guys.
Oh yeah.
All right, until next time, this is Moving the Chains.
Let's keep those chains moving.
Love you guys.
Love you.